was like a bit of blood that was seeping into an old TV. Remember when flat screens weren't all that flat? Remember when flat screens were like really wide and dense, and you kind of just missed those big box TVs because they weren't lying about being easier to carry around and stuff? That's basically all that we have left of him. Him. I have the TV somewhere, but it's old and it's big, so I really don't have it anywhere obvious in my cave, but excuse me. Either way, all I really have now is my cave. I kind of just was done living the way I was. Not that I was afraid of entering society, but more so, I just kind of wanted to control whether or not my bareness was seen, you know? Because when I was in public and it happened involuntarily, which it did sometimes, uh, that mostly just led to me being the center of attention I wasn't looking for. But now at least, I I live in a cave, and don't worry, it's a pretty sick cave. This is just a backdrop, but the room where my initial chat screen is, that's where the actual cave is, right? That's a room in the actual cave. So I'm not like destitute or anything like that if you're worried about that. I'm doing fine is what I'm saying. But the cave itself I found when I was just kind of looking for some peace, and really I kind of just fuck. I forgot how to use my shield. There's a creeper there too. Two creepers actually. Alright. It's time to stop playing games, I guess. Well, I'm still playing a game, but... Oh. Damn it. Well, either way. I guess it's not really all that important. It's not really changing what you guys are seeing right now, so... Just know that I could sometimes turn into a bear, and I live in a cave. Alright, then... E is this bread, arrows back here. Alright. Pickaxe needed here. It's 8:30, so I might wrap up soon, but I'm gonna get way more acacia before that happens. I got a couple saplings too, so that's something to bring back to the village. But until then, I will be mining. Cause, what was it? That's something that you get when you turn into a bear. People talk to you as if they're talking to a bear. I don't know. I'm not really cool with the way people talk to bears. Not like a discrimination thing, though I guess you could call it a form of discrimination. But like, to me at least, I've spent most of my life as a person. So the whole sort of bear code of conduct never really applied to me. As in, like, I know I've lived my life so long as a person that, or at least a full human, that I've never really had to question how humans act. But now that I could turn into a bear sometimes when I'm out in public as a bear, people like act like I'm a dog, and not even in like a demeaning way. They just don't take seriously the fact that I am in fact a bear. For all they know, I could just be a bear in a bear that somebody like tranquilized and dressed up, but they just don't. And like I see that on social media all the time. I see like tigers and like other animals that would have otherwise been dangerous, and they're just not. And something about that bothers me. I don't know if I'm weird or not, but like the idea of seeing a lion so domesticated makes me think like dude, you're a lion. Why aren't you murdering these people, you know? I feel as if lions should be a bit more assertive of how powerful they are, really, because there's no way I'd be a lion and some lady would just be treating me like, "Oh, his name is Tommykins." I don't know about that, dude. What was it? I have this weird theory, and please, hold on to me when I say this. I know I'm talking to you about this through the perspective of a bear, right? But I want to say that I am kind of serious. Like, if I had to put it down to a percentage, this theory is mostly a joke, but I think, every good joke has some hints of truth in it, right? I think that some people own exotic animals, and their ownership of exotic animals is an extension of a sort of learned behavior surrounding the ownership of living beings that you really shouldn't be owning, if you catch my drift. Like, some people could be like, oh, I'm not allowed to own a person? Well, what if I own a tiger? What if I took a baby tiger out of the woods and completely detached it from its instincts and its ability to hunt and yada 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 until this is basically just a large cat that could still kill me, but way more accidentally than the way most tigers do end up killing things, you know? That's for later. This isn't too far from my house, honestly, so I'm not too worried about leaving this place behind. But I feel as though there's some credence to that. That you could call me crazy, but then again, you're talking to a bear, so who's the crazy one? I think there's something to it, though. I think there's something about people whose people who are part of systems that partake in like some form of colonization or whatever, getting a kick out of owning animals that they shouldn't be owning, in the same way that one might get a kick out of owning any sort of living being that somebody shouldn't really own, you know? And I don't even think it's a necessarily malicious thing. I don't think people are like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to own this animal because I don't live in a way where I could actually support its life. But I mean more so like in a, oh yeah, I can just do whatever I want sort of thing. Like, yeah, of course I could just get an exotic bat and touch it with the same hands I use to touch a KFC combo meal, you know? That's how I feel, at least. I don't know. I understand that for most of the stream I was in my human-ish form, but like some humans really do think they're above nature. Like, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of zoology videos recently to get a bit more in touch with the animal side. The amount of stories about humans just like treat, like, you'd think that in a lot of cases, like when you see a cartoon and in the cartoon there's like a crowd of people in a circus treating an elephant poorly or something, you'd be like, oh, people don't act like that in real life, but you'd be surprised, honestly. You would be surprised. But then again, we're dealing with like, I don't know. I don't know who saw like the crowds of people in cartoons and thought to themselves like, "Oh, okay, that's how I should just act." But that's how it feels to me. I don't know. There's no dumber population in any fictional piece of media than the public or the crowd or the collective of incidental characters used to represent the collective consciousness of a population. It's so weird. Because it's like, it's a sort of dramatic irony thing too, where it's that's a writing rule or a writing structure or something like that, wherein dramatic irony is basically that the audience knows something that care that the characters in the story don't know. So the dramatic irony of, like, let's say this doesn't exactly happen in Beastars, but like let's say in Beastars it looks like Jack it like it looks like Jack could have been a devourer, and like the audience knows that Jack is not going to be a devourer. Jack is best boy, but like and then somebody else is, and then the crowd's like, I heard that Jack was a devourer, and then they just run with that until the next plot line kicks in, where the smart characters who actually are focal points of the story are like, no, and here's why. Something along those lines. Da, 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 da. Ooh. It's a big hole in the ground. A lot of big holes in the ground, honestly. How much do I have on me? Over a stack. That's still not going to be enough. What the fuck? Oh, they add armadillos to this game. I forgot. Alright, let's get this tree and then go to sleep again. Maybe if I go to sleep fast enough, I'll just be able to sleep out in the middle of nature without being attacked. It's probably a stupid idea. My desk fell again. Not the time, not the time. Monsters are coming out, not the time. Alright. Alright, back in the little dugout that I dug out. I'm all in here like I'm in a chick waiting to get dug out. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Like I said, I've been watching some zoology videos, and I don't know. I haven't done enough research on bears to know how if bears dig or not. Like if digging is a thing that bears do a lot, because I just really wouldn't know. Like I said, most of my time has been a domestic little suburb cub, and then I become a bear man boy thing, and then, you know, back to sleep. All right, 8:40. It's gonna be like 20 minutes more of this sort of thing. So this will be. I'm gonna go as hard in the paint as I can when it comes to getting Acacia, and then afterwards I will be returning to the home base, my little based home. Yeah, you killed your friend. That's not funny. What the? I think the creeper sound is like intentionally made that way, so you don't hear it coming because it just sounds like grass. Just how you feel. What was it? You guys like Devil May Cry? I like Devil May Cry, but in a LARPer sort of way, because I've only played 4 and I'm not done with it. And I think if anybody's familiar with Devil May Cry 4, you might know where I'm saying I haven't completed it, because